Hey guys, and welcome back to IdleOn. And I thought today we would talk about my legend talent points because that's been a pretty big thing here for the start of World 7. Some people have more, some people have less. Depends how much you spent, honestly, as well as other factors, but mostly how much you spent. And the thing is, a lot of these legend talents are really powerful, but you can only pick so many of them realistically. Most people cannot actually upgrade all of them. So we're here to kind of talk about which ones I'm picking, as well as which ones you might want to pick. So you can see here I've already filled in some of the ones here down on this green row right here. So each row has a color: green, brown, red, and yellow. And I think it's been pretty strong consensus thus far that green is the strongest. The green row down here has basically most of the best ones, but not all of them. Mostly just because a lot of the ones down here in the green row are multipliers, which are what you want. The ones you kind of want to avoid, especially if you don't have many points, are things like these additive ones up here in the red row. Like, these look like good bonuses, not that one, but these ones here, these are all additive, which just means that they may get kind of buried under other bonuses, especially if you already have a lot of bonuses for that particular thing. I guess I'll just talk about the ones that I picked thus far. I picked the Shrine talent here, mostly because I've lost a lot of Shrine XP from not being on the right world. Obviously, you can like go to the right spot and just use candy and stuff, but for me personally, I found I've lost a lot of XP from that, so I wanted to do this as a quality of life feature. I did metal detector just because I thought that would be helpful. It's always annoying when you have to start grinding out the nuggets from scratch again. Increase to statue and gold food drops just because I need to farm more gold food, so I thought a bonus to that would be helpful. I've done the sigil level up multiplier here because, well, sigils can take a while and be kind of annoying, and I thought I saw something about more sigils, so then I did stamina regeneration. I mean, obviously spelunking is the hot thing right now, so anything to increase stamina regeneration seemed like it could be positive, especially since it will only let you put your character in if you have more than half of your stamina, max stamina. Green 4 here because I pushed Orion a fair bit. I'm already pushing Mega Feather 21, so I wanted to try and make sure I was actually maximizing those bonuses. Even though they're not super strong on their own, they do kind of add up. And then I did put in all the points for flopping a full house. Now, this one's a little debatable because some of the cards aren't quite as good as maybe they arguably used to be when there were less other competing bonuses, but there still are good card sets that do benefit from this. For example, if you're active class EXP farming, like the crystal mob spawn chance benefits from this, but there's a number of other interesting ones you could try and have an effect as well. Then I also took green 6 just because gaming palette is new and I assumed that meant the bonuses would be good, and it's a multiplier, so anything that's a multiplier I was heavily considering. Same thing with slab, 1.3x bigger bonuses. It affects a lot of things, and if you have a lot of slab items, I mean, those are some sizable bonuses already, so 1.3x is actually, a good increase to those. I did not do green 8 yet, mostly because it does seem to affect, like you could use it to affect the monument AFK gain, but the thing is, I'm already at a point with monuments where you can see my monument situation here. I already have 89k hours in Justice. I already have 195k hours in Bravery. So for me personally, it just didn't seem like it was like the biggest priority at the moment. I did take the 2 ballot bonuses, but honestly, if you're a newer player, I wouldn't take these because ballots can be extremely volatile in terms of, you know, whatever you get, especially the bonus ballot one for the World 2 ballot. I mean, sometimes people vote in complete trash bonuses, so I wouldn't spend a point there if you only have a handful of points. The one for World 7, now that one, I don't have it actually unlocked to be able to vote, but like stuff like these some of these look better. Like multiplying Kilroy skulls or multiplying monument reward multi, those potentially look like they could be better to me. But some of this was a little bit speculative. If you only have a few points, I would skip these. Now, as you can see, I didn't spend a lot of my points yet. I'll talk about what I think I'm going to spend the next ones on. So the other ones that I think seem really good for me, potentially, the sneaking ones seem good, although I don't know exactly what I'm grinding sneaking for at this point. There must be something. Some of these I haven't gotten yet. Like, I don't know that I've interacted with the exotic market, so whatever's going on there, I'm probably going to just save some extra points that I don't spend because I had quite a few, and then I will reallocate those as I go along and figure out which things are more OP that I haven't interacted with yet. Brown 9, not a top priority for me. Villager EXP, I mean, I've already done so much with caverns that unless there's going to be a new piece of content, I'm not like super inclined, push Villager EXP because I already get it from the monuments. Davy Jones Returns, I have, some good incentive to put points into that, I think, because of the fact that number one, well, I took the bonuses in the gem shop, so I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse to take these. But then also just the fact that with the new tier of artifacts, that definitely gives more incentive. I've gotten like half of them, but the last half are definitely going to be more of a grind. So I think because of that, it would be nice to have something to speed it up. So I see value in putting points into that. Brown 6 is interesting because 10x breeding egg luck does sound pretty good. However, most of my breeding is pretty much like done. I mean, more breeding XP sounds good, more breeding levels sounds good, and I guess it would be good for that. And it is just 1 point for 10x breeding egg luck, so that sounds pretty good. If you're in a position where you feel like this would benefit you, 10x sounds like, that's good. Lab XP for laboratory and laboratory and divinity. This is not a priority for me, mostly because like a lot of my characters, like this character is already 300 plus in lab and 190 divinity, so I don't really have like big urgency to do that at the moment. I don't know about these ones. I'm always a little confused about these like output per day, and if I am keeping samples for that long, it's usually because the sample's already freaking huge and I'm just using it to create atoms. Refinery cycle sounds really nice, except I'm kind of finally getting past refinery a little bit. I'd mostly been past it for a while, a few moments where I needed some salts for things, but the latest tier in the anvil really has not crazy salt requirements that look like they're already covered by basically the salts that I already have. Like, I would still get it, but I don't know if it's a need it right now priority, but it could be for you. Depends. If you're really struggling with refinery, then maybe you want to go for this one. Like I said, I took the sigils because I thought there's going to be more sigil upgrades, and sigils can be time consuming. For some of the new tools in particular, this might be kind of helpful. Daily coral gain, I'm heavily considering putting points into that. I'm just still kind of learning more about like how the coral thing works. This one, Red 9, I think this is a good bonus, but I think 3% for 1 point with 5 points is fairly steep. And I don't think I'd recommend this for newer players because, if it goes up to a total of like 15% or something like that, like that's good, but it's also not huge, especially if you don't already have a lot of bonuses or like high level stamps for this to multiply off of. Like, I'm definitely looking to get this one eventually, but it's not necessarily right at the top. And then these three additive ones, just like, I don't know, after a certain point, like, what are you going to do with this? I mean, like, isn't this just going to get drowned out, this gold food one going to get drowned out by the Yumi ring or something? And drop rate, there's so many sources of drop rate right now that you really don't need to 4 points for some additive drop rate. Not saying I wouldn't get this eventually, but not a top priority. This red 5, I don't really understand why you need more guaranteed crystal mobs, especially when you can get like green 5 and just increase your spawn rate via cards. Red 4, it's good, but I don't know if that's really like top tier. I mean, construction does have increased value now because of the fact that lava added in the bonuses for Woodula Shrine and the Isaackian Shrine with the Reef Coral daily bonus and Spelunking. Honestly, don't know about Red 3. I haven't touched master classes in a hot minute. That's on my to-do list. Red 2, I don't know about Red 2. I mean, I don't feel like my trophies are really that good. If you have one of the really good trophies, like the World 6 one, that one looked pretty good. Maybe you want to have, I mean, how many slots do you need that are at a high bonus, unless you have really good trophies to fill them all? Like, it's nice, but I don't know that some of the bonuses are really like that game-changing from some of the worst trophies. I think for right now, if you have a limited number of points, I would not be putting them into Croc bubbles. But I think there could become a point in the long run where the more base levels and the more bonuses that start going into Croc bubbles, they could start to become more valuable. For the moment, I probably wouldn't put points into this if you have a very limited number of points, just because you can candy click like 2 out of the 3 of the bubbles it gives you. The only one that's kind of more difficult now is Swift Stepping, because it got swapped for sand when before it was like bleach logs. But the other 2 bubbles that you're getting levels in are literally wood and like oak wood and copper. Yeah. And you can candy click both of those extremely easily. It's funny, the one I actually have clicked is Swift Steppin', but Croc bubbles could be a long-term sort of interesting dark horse X Factor type of thing once we can really start to ramp them up to like 500, 1,000 levels per day. That would be really interesting. I do not know about Jeweled Cogs, so again, that's another type of thing I'm withholding points in potential for because I've not interacted with that. This one could be good. Yellow 8 could be good. Personally, I'd pass on ribbons just because I already have a lot of ribbons. So I feel like the return for me personally is probably diminished compared to some people, because you can see I already am sitting on ribbons. I already have a bunch of ribbons on things. Like my Peach Ring is already on a rank 17. I've already got like rank 14s and 13s happening not across the board, but around here. But for me personally, I feel like it's not top tier to take ribbons. I don't quite see the point of this one. I mean, it says unspent particle upgrades. I mean, I guess this really just matters if you're not logging into the game, assuming it still spends them, right? Isn't that what this would be for? Like, if for some reason you can't log into the game that frequently and you don't want to waste the particle upgrades, because otherwise it just says unspent. And I don't understand that for me, because I'm already spending them. So how does unspent help me? It probably doesn't. Spend these on talents to give them plus 50. What I want to know is that within the existing talent limit level cap, or is that exceeding it? Because if it's within it, I already have plenty of points. Why do I need that? If it's exceeding it, maybe that could be useful, but you still have to kind of know like which things are going to have like good breakpoints or something, which is a whole thing in its own. If you're not sure what to put points into, I would usually default to things that look like they have the largest bonus, or things that are multipliers in particular, and affect content that you are like actively working on or think you will be working on soon. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, but let me know in the comments like what you chose to pick, if you chose any sort of interesting or controversial picks. Like, did you choose to go with Croc bubbles, for example? I've heard a lot of controversial takes about Croc bubbles, interesting takes on them. So thanks for watching, and we will be discussing more and more videos soon.